Hey guys, this is E and welcome to the E-Kit Club. This will be our very first E-Kit Club. We have done kit clubs in the past, but not anything like this one, where we give PDFs and how-to videos, tutorials, that kind of thing. So this will be the very first one like this. Now, all of you should have received your packages by now, and in your package it would have your links to this video as well as the PDFs. So you can refer to either of those anytime that you want. Now, only Kit Club members are eligible for these links, so please don't share them with other people. I want you guys to have exclusive access to this. Now, I want to tell you, this is going to be very informal. It's going to be just like I'm talking to you right here in the room. So it's not going to be, you know, not going to be a lot of editing. If I stutter and stammer around, we're going to leave all that in. It's just going to be like you and I are chatting. But I'm going to try to be teaching you as much as I can on this. Now, when you get your kit and open it up, please don't throw this piece away. I gave a kit a few years ago, and it had some chipboard pieces in it that we needed to use, and a lot of people threw them away thinking they were just packaging. This is not packaging. This is something that you're going to use to make your mini album. It should be 5 inches by 11 inches. And what you're going to do is you're going to put it in your scoreboard. Now, this is a lightweight chipboard, so it should score very, very easy. So, you just have to go over it a couple of times. You're going to put it in your scoreboard, and you're going to go over it at 5. You're going to score it at 5. And if I, miss some words here and there when I'm editing this or kind of going back over it, I will try to type the words in that I missed. Because when I'm creating something like this for the first time, and yes, I will be creating this for the first time along with you guys, a lot of times I have to kind of stop and think, So if I stutter and stammer around on something, I'll try to make sure that I put it in the video exactly what I meant to say. Okay, then you can go ahead and just kind of fold with your fingers on that. You don't have to do a lot of bone folding on it. Now, you will notice, since this is a lightweight chipboard, we've got a little bit, it's not really cracking, but it's just a little bit showing there. You have a piece of this Tyvek tape. Now, I couldn't give everybody a whole roll of this because this stuff is outrageously expensive. But I did give you enough to go on the spine of your album. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to measure off to keep from wasting mine. I'm just going to measure it off right there and cut it off. If you get a few little wrinkles in there, don't worry about it. Just kind of smooth them out as best you can with your bone folder. And don't worry. It will be fine. Now, I'm going to trim this off. I didn't exactly cut it at the exact length, but it was close enough. I want to trim it off just so it won't get in the way of our covering the front and that kind of thing. And we won't have to put one on the inside. The inside seems fine. You're just going to put one on the outside so that'll give that a little bit more strength, and you won't have any cracking if you use this album a lot to, carry it around, put it in your purse, that kind of thing. People opening and closing it. You just want to give it that extra added strength. And believe me, this Tyvek will not tear. So there we go. And it's not going to show when we get finished with it. Now, if you want to pull your PDF up and print this off, I've got this scanned into the PDF just like this. I got the size on it, score at 5 inches and score at 6 inches. So you can do that if you want to. Now, you need to go ahead now and look at all your papers and choose which one you want to be the spine piece, which one you want to be the covers, and so forth. So I want this to be my spine piece because I'm going to use this for my covers. I'm going to use these two pieces for my covers. So I want this to be my spine piece. And see, that will go really well on there. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cover our covers. We're going to cover our covers. So this is the outside. And I'm just going to pull this up a little bit, and I'm going to mark right where this little line is right here. I think I am anyway. I'm going to mark just so that I can see that score line. This is not going to serve any purpose except to help me see that score line, because I have a little bit of trouble sometimes when it gets a little bit late. That way I can see the score line and I can make sure that I'm getting this pretty straight. So since these are 6 by 6 pieces, you should have just enough left all the way around to fold this over. So we're going to put it down just like that. And I may even fold this back up to put it down, because I'm still having a little bit of trouble there. With that tie back on, it gives it a little bit extra glare. So we want to put it down just like that. Now I am going to use some of my ATG tape, but I'm also going to use some art glitter glue as well. So I'm going to put ATG tape everywhere I can think of down through here. And this ATG tape has gotten hot. I had it in my car and I shouldn't have left it there. And it has gotten hot, and it's just not wanting to cooperate with me for some reason. Let's see, I think this is the top, so that will go that way. I think I've about got it all the way around as far as I need it. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some art glitter glue on there too. Since my ATG tape has gotten a little bit hot and I'm not too sure about it right now. Plus this will give us a little bit of wiggle room by using this. Now, if you don't have art glitter glue, you can use tacky glue, just whatever good glue that you have. We can't ship art glitter glue still because it's too cold. But when it gets warm, we'll be able to start shipping it again. So everybody's excited about that. Okay, now on this one, we're going to put this edge right up to the fold there. Just kind of as even as you can get. It doesn't have to be perfect. A lot of this is going to be covered over, so just do it the best that you can. Now I'm going to flip that over, and I'll show you what I use when I put a cover down like this. I use one of these. If you don't have this, get a rolling pin, just whatever you have that would be flat, and roll across that. Make sure all of that sticks really well. So there we go with that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this one on. So this is going to be our side that's going to meet up. So we're going to bring this all the way to the edge. And I'm stopping about a ½ inch from the outer edge and the bottom side. That way I don't go all the way over. Let's see. Whoops. Helps if you pull the trigger, Edith. Okay, so I think that's going to go like that. Ooh, I love this paper. Love, love, love it. I hope that all of you like the paper and like all the choices that we had in the kit. We took, a long time picking out everything, and I didn't know when to stop. My husband kept saying, are you going to stop anytime soon, or are you just going to keep adding? I said, I just want to keep adding. But, of course, I had to stop when it came to the money situation, but I hope you love your kit as much as I have enjoyed sending it to you guys and putting it together. Okay, and I just tried to get these two pretty even. They don't have to be perfect again. right, looks like we've got that down really well. I'll make sure I don't have glue here stuck down here. Where is my tissue? There it is. This glue does dry clear, but still, I want to make sure that I don't have any that's going to go on the outside. Now, looks like I got this one a little crooked, but we're not going to worry. I'm not going to worry about it. That's going to be the back. This is going to be the front. So we're going to put that down right there. But before we put that down, we're going to go ahead and fold these over. You can see from this side that I got it a little crooked. So what I do is I take my little tool, stylus here, and I run it down the edge of the chipboard so I can kind of crease that paper a little bit. And since I've got some glue sticking out, I'm just wiping mine off as I go. There we go. Alright, then I take my bone folder in my finger and I just kind of fold that up, and I take this end of my bone folder and I just press it up against that, just like that, and I do it on all sides. You just press it easily while you're pushing against that chipboard to make sure that it doesn't slide out of your hand. I mean, it's not going to slide with all that glue on it, but just don't let it slide out of your hand. And then you're going to do the same thing over here. Just kind of easily go down it. It just makes that crease, it breaks down the fibers a little bit, just so that this will fold up easy without any breakage. We don't want any of our paper to crack or break. So breaking down your fibers a little bit helps a lot. And then just go over this one. Okay. So we have that, and now we're going to trim off these corners. And I'm just going to I go kind of at a swerve. I don't go straight across, especially on this, because this is, you know, this one is a lot wider than this, so I kind of go at a curve there. And you're going to leave from the tip of your chipboard out, you're going to leave about 1/8 of an inch. You don't want to go too close. You rather have too much is not enough. So just leave about 1/8 of an inch. And then when you fold this over, so you've got a nice corner there with no chipboard showing. Okay, now I usually do the sides of mine first, and I'm going to use some score tape. Now you can use whatever type glue or double-sided adhesive you have. You do not have to have score tape, but I just use it because it's a little bit quicker for me to put this down than it is just to put glue down and hold it for a little bit. So just use whatever good double-sided adhesive or glue that you might have. going to go ahead and run a piece right down here, just because this one's a little bit longer, just so that it'll hold and it won't buckle up when we start folding everything. Then you want to just give your score tape if you have it. And if you don't have score tape and you would like to have some, we do have some in the shop. Just letting you know, not advertising, not wanting you to buy, or not pressing you to buy, I should say. Alright, then you just pull that backing off and fold that over. Then I go to the other side, pull that backing off, make sure that it folds over really nice and straight. Now, right here in the corners, you may have a little bit of extra that's sticking up past that chipboard. That's what the end of this tool is good for. And if you don't have one of these, just use your stylus and press that down. It's just a little fold, depending on how close you cut it. Oops, sticking to my hand. And then you want to press that up really well. See what nice corners you have then? Really nice corners without anything showing. Then you want to go to the other end and you're going to do the same thing. So go ahead and fold one of them over, press it down, fold that one over, and then take your little tool and just those little pieces right there, just kind of tuck them in. You want to tuck them in because you don't want them pointing out when you start folding everything up. And then just take that and press it up. And there again are your nice corners. Alright. Now, most people don't do this. I do it because I don't like that sharp point to a corner. So I take mine and I just peck it on the table. All it does is keeps that corner from being so sharp. Just take it lightly. There we go. And then looks like all of our paper looks good. I don't see any cracking or breaking or anything. Now at this point, if you want to do your inking, go ahead and do your inking. I'm not sure if I want to do inking on this or not. I think I will. I think I am going to do inking on this, and I'm just going to use Vintage Photo in the Distress Oxide. And I'm just going to go around the edges. This just helps if you do have any cracking in your paper. This helps finish all of that off. If you have any little white edges showing, anything like that, this will finish it off. Now, some people don't like their albums and things inked. That's up to you. If you don't want to ink yours, don't worry about it. I'm going to ink mine, and I'm going to show people how to ink it, but that's strictly up to you. Alright, now we are ready to put our spine piece down. Now this piece we need to try to get pretty straight, because it will show if it's not straight on this side here. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to make me a mark to go by. Let's see. This is our front cover right here, because this one's a little bit off. Make me a mark to go by. And I'm just going to use a pencil, real light, down through there. See if I can see it. I can. And then that's just going to tell me where to lay that. Well, I think that's going to look pretty straight. Let's see. Yep, it is. So also in your kit, you have a little piece of lace, and this lace is just big enough to go from one end of this to the other on the front side. So I'm going to go by my mark that I made right there, and I'm just going to kind of center this up because I only want part of the lace to show through. I don't want all of it to show. So what I'm going to do is take my score tape, and I keep turning this around and around, I know, sorry about that. I'm going to take my score tape and I'm going to run that down that line that I made, just like that. I'm going to pull that up, and then I'm going to take my lace. One side has got a little ruffle, the other side is flat. Of course, you could use either side, it doesn't matter. But I am going to try to get this even on this side. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, I think that will work. So we're going to go ahead and run some score tape on this. Okay, so we put the score tape down, then we put some art glitter glue on top of that, just so that we'll have a little bit of wiggle room on here. I think that works. And I am going to bring my lace over and put it down on this side. I don't want to cut it off because it might fray a little bit. I don't want it to fray. So I'm just going to bring it over and put it in on this side, and then when we put that inside cover on, it'll cover most of that up. It'll cover all of that raw edge up. Now you want to do the same thing on this as you did on the covers. You just want to run your scoring tool down the edge, give that a little bit of a score so it'll fold well and so it won't crack, hopefully. And then sometimes on this one I just do this. I just rock it a little bit when I'm fooling with the spine piece. Sometimes I just rock it and let that fold it up a little bit and break those fibers down. There we go. And then we're going to put score tape on here. pull that backing off and lay that over. Now where this lace is, I'm going to put extra glue up under there because that doesn't like to stick to that. So we're going to put some extra glue up under there. And then I'm going to clip it so that it'll hold it well until it dries. There we go. Right, now all I want to do is right here where these score lines are, I'm going to run back over those real easy. And then we want to just start bending easily. Don't bend it, don't force it. Just start bending up just easily. It'll be real tight in the beginning, but the more you work it, the looser it gets. But if you force it, then you're going to have some cracking. So just don't force. Just slowly and easily press it up. There we go. I have a little bit of a crease right there, so I'm going to press that down because that's right in that score line. There. That feels better. And then there's that one. Let's see if those are stuck. Those seem to be stuck really well. So there is the front part and the back of our little mini album. And I'm going to go up under here and run more art glitter glue. It just helps that lace to lay down and helps that edge of the paper to lay down. Like I said, the paper doesn't like to stick to that lace too well. And don't worry about it if you get some of the art glitter glue on your paper, it dries clear. Now, if your paper seems to be buckling just a little bit or has a little bit of a ridge in it where you ran the lace up through there, just lay it flat and sit something on top of it for a few hours and it should be fine. It's just going to do that for the first little while until that lace adheres really well. But as you can see, mine's trying to do it right there. And I probably need to just shoot some more glue up under there. But sometimes paper and lace is not good friends. And you don't have to put this lace on yours if you don't want to. I just think it makes it pretty. So see, you can just lay it flat like that, lay something on top of it to hold it down, hold it flat until everything dries well. And it should be fine. Okay, before we go any further, I'm wanting to point something out to you. You will have a piece of this. This is Tyvek in your kit. Don't throw it away. This is what you're going to use right here. I had said that I was going to send some of this tape, but we just can't figure out how to send this tape and you still be able to use it when it gets to your end. We put it on acetate, tried pulling it off, and it just didn't work. So this is basically the same thing. The only thing you'll have to do to this is just add your glue to the back of it. So we've got pieces cut large enough for each kit, and it'll be down in your kit. So like I said, don't throw this away. And it will go on the outside just like that. And this stuff is super tough. It doesn't tear, so it will help keep your album together. All right. let's go on. Now we have got the front cover put on, the spine put on, and then we put this little piece of lace that's in your kit down through there. You also have 2 yards of this twine, and it is a black twine in your kit. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it on this album. You can do anything you want with it, but I'm just giving you ideas. You do not have to do what I do on my album, but if you want to, you can. This is just some different ideas, and it doesn't take but a small piece, so I'm going to put it about right there, I think. And I'm going to save, I'm not going to cut any off, and I'm going to save as much as I can, because we also have some little tags that we'll be using and putting this on too. So we're just going to save as much as we can. Okay, so there's our little bow, and we're just going to trim that off. So we still got plenty of the twine left, so we'll lay that aside. And then I want to pull it down to right at the end of that spine piece, just like that. And then you can put it up to at the top, down at the bottom, just whatever. I'm also going to, on the inside, I'm going to run a little bit of art glitter glue under, just so it'll stay in place. When we put our piece on the inside of the spine, it's going to help it stay in place anyway, but this will just give it a little bit of extra added. Okay, so I think that makes it look cute. Get that. All right, now we are going to cover the inside. So let me grab my papers here. Decide what paper you want to use on the inside. And I think I had decided to use this, just the plain paper on the inside. So what we're going to do is cut these down to, and let me make sure, 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. So this is what we're going to cut these down to. And it doesn't matter which way, if you're using this paper, of course it doesn't matter which way you cut it. And since it's the same size both ways, it doesn't matter which way you cut it. So save all of these little pieces, because we may end up using those. Don't throw any of your pieces away until we get ready. So that's how it's going to go right there. So let's go ahead and cut this one down. Just like that. And then we need a little spine piece. And let's see. We just need a little 2-inch wide spine piece, something that will kind of go with that. And I'm going to go back and use one of my cutoff pieces and use that. It's going to be the same one that was on the outside. So you're going to cut this one at 4 3/4. Oops. Don't know what I did. 4 3/4 by 2. We just needed 2 inches. Okay. And a lot of people ask me all the time, this is a Cricut paper trimmer. I love it. I keep a backup supply of them. Okay, we're going to put our little side pieces, these down first. But before I do that, I'm going to ink mine. Now, you don't have to ink yours. Just put them down like they are if you don't want to do any inking. But I'm going to ink mine. It just takes that white core away. Okay, now we're going to put these down just like that. And I'm going to use our art glitter glue. I know everybody will be glad when this starts shipping again. I'll just be glad when it gets warm enough for it to ship, because I don't like winter. And we're supposed to get snow this next week. Here in Alabama, in the South, we're supposed to get snow. Okay, so I think mine stopped up a little bit. Alright, so when you put this down, you want it to be kind of even on all sides. You should have about a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch on all sides. You're going to put it down like that. Starting out here and coming in. Don't worry about getting it up close to this little score line there. Don't worry about that. We're not worried about that score line. We're going to use the spine piece for that. I need to clean my tip out. I think I've left it open a little bit too long. And of course you're doing the same thing on this end. And you're trapping that little piece of twine in there. I'm going to squirt some extra glue down through here. Now you want to put your spine piece down, and it should fit just perfectly right there in the center. Now on this piece, I'm going to use some score tape and art glitter glue, because this is going to hold all your pages in. So we want that to be nice and sturdy. And that is not my score tape. That is my off-brand tape. I have an off-brand tape and a score tape, and I don't sell the off-brand tape. I sell the score tape. And the reason I don't sell the off-brand tape is because it's not very good. It's just some that I had got sent to me to try, and I didn't like it, so I didn't sell it. So I'm going to pull that piece up, and I'm going to put the score tape down there. And I'm putting it a little bit off and a little bit on that, just so that it'll catch where that other is not. And I'm just going to press it down with my bone folder. Whoops. And we're going to run some score tape on that. Now we're going to run some art glitter glue on that, just so that we'll have a little bit extra wiggle room when we put that down. There you go. Alright, now what you want to do is go back to those score lines and just give this a little bit of a burnish. Just kind of pull it up a little bit. Like that. And then do the other side the same way. And don't try to go hard with your tool, because you'll tear through your paper because it's still wet with the glue. Just go slow. And then just gently start pressing on it to pull it together. Okay, so we're going to set this aside a little bit and let that dry well before we can go on with that. And while that's drying, I'm going to show you how to make your pages. And let's see. Put my top back in here. So this is going to be in your kit. You will have you'll have 4 of these pieces, and they are 4 3/4 by 10. And on the 10-inch side, you're going to score at 4 3/4. Oops, wrong end. 4 3/4. And then you're going to score at 9.5. So 4 3/4 and 9.5. And again, all these measurements will be over on the template for the PDF. So then this folds together just like this. And you put your little strip of glue down through here and fold it up. And that is your little pocket page. One of these, drawn out just like this, will be on the template or on the PDF. So I'm going to put a piece of score tape down through there. Fold that over. Bring that into it and just make sure that it is even all the way down to the bottom. Then you can burnish everything down really well. And you've got your first little pocket. And I know you're saying, well, I don't like a pocket because both ends are open. You'll figure it out in just a minute when we get all of them put together. I'll show you. So let's go ahead and do our other ones. 4 3/4, 9.5, and then 4 3/4 and 9.5. When you're putting your score tape on things like this, make sure that you put it right up close to the score line, because that makes everything hold together better. Woo! Throw it away. Okay, pull the backing off of that. Bring this one over, making sure that it goes right down to the edge, just like that. And you can go ahead and burnish both sides. There's another pocket. These are super easy pockets to put together. Now I've got just a tiny bit of an overhang on this one, so I'm going to trim that off. I may not have cut it just exactly straight, or the paper might not be straight on that end or whatever. Just trim it off if it doesn't come straight. Okay, now let's go ahead and cover our pockets. So the covers on these are going to need to be 4.5 by 4.5. So you can choose from your papers what you want to use. I'm probably going to use that one. Now, if you have a directional paper, like this one is, this is going to be, one of these openings is going to be the bottom of your page that goes into the album this way. This is going to be like the top, one of the closed pieces. So make sure that your direction goes this way. See, my opening is here. So this is going this way, because that's going to go in the album just like that, and then when it flips, that's the way the album, that's the way it's going to go together. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut a few more. All right, remember your opening, cover your page just like this. And then flip it over. Make sure this is the upside right here. This is going to be the top. So flip it just like that. And then this one's going to go on like that. Okay. So there's our opening right there. And then this is going to be the top. This is going to be the bottom. So go ahead and cover all of your pages just like that. And then we'll come back and we will put these in our little album. Now we have our pages. Make sure I get all of them the right way up. We have our pages covered all except the back of this one. I still have more paper, but I don't want to use all my paper up on this album because I want to do some other things with it. So what I'm going to do is these pieces that we cut off, and these are exactly 4.5. We cut off quite a few of these. I'm going to use some of these and just kind of piece this together on the back, just like that. Never know the difference once you get a photo down or whatever you're going to put on here. I think it looks cute. So don't use all of your paper on one project. Just use your scraps. It will still look just as good. There we go. I'm going to put this one in the center to just kind of give it a little bit of a different design in there. And I'm putting them right up close to each other so that it looks like they're the same paper, the same sheet. See there? You can't tell the difference that is scraps and not a full sheet of paper, can you? So we have all of our pages covered now. Okay, we're going to lay our pockets aside, and I'm going to go back to the cover. I think it's pretty well dry. And when I'm working on the cover, what I like to do is just clip it together so that it stays put. Now in your kit, you have a piece of vellum, and it's probably a little bit bigger than this. I went ahead and stamped on mine, and this is just a background stamp. It's just a weird, I don't even know what it says. But I am going to use this piece of vellum to make a tag. And you get some of these in your kit as well. So we're going to take this tag and this is just one of those shipping tags. And I'm just going to draw around that. I'm going to draw my little circle out. And just trace around it. Just like that. And then we'll trim this out. When you stamp on your vellum, just make sure that you're using an ink that is a permanent ink. Don't use like Tim Holtz ink or anything like that because it will just wipe off. Just use a permanent ink. And you also have a few hole reinforcements in your kit, and they are colored for you. Brown and, I can't remember, brown and green and maybe mauve. I can't remember the exact colors. So you're going to put one of those around that little hole. Then I'm going to try to find my punch. Where is my hole punch? So then you just want to take your hole punch and punch a hole in there, then flip it over, and we're going to go ahead and put one on the back side too. Just like that. So that is going to be part of the front. We're going to leave that like that. And then you've got all of these cards, embellishments, all of that in your packet as well. So let's see what else we can find. We've got flowers, all kinds of things. I like that on there. And then you have lots and lots of these cards, journaling cards. So we'll see what we want to put on. Kind of like that one. It goes with the full theme of it. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to take this little, this is one of the journaling cards. I'll get that out in a minute. I'm going to take this little journaling card and I'm folding it in half. I'm going to make a pocket out of it. And I'm just going to put glue right on the edge. And right on the edge right here. And press that together. Okay. So we've got that there. I'm going to put this basically right there. And then we've got this little ephemera piece that just says Scott's Roses. I'm going to tuck that in, that little pocket. And then we've got this little, it looks like a little stamp. I'm going to tuck that in right there, and then we'll put some flowers around that. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue this down. And I'm just going to glue it on the sides so that I can still tuck things in. So, well, let's go ahead and glue this piece down. And I'm just going to put glue where I think I'm going to be covering it up. Right in the middle. Like that. I don't think that glue's going to show through there anyway. And then we'll put this down. Kind of turn this that way. Press that down right there. And then I want this little journaling card to go in there. That way. And then this one, this little stamp kind of at that angle. So I'm going to put just a tiny bit of glue under those. The large flowers that you will get in your kit are not the same ones that I'm going to be putting on here because I gave you guys all of the large flowers. I'm just going to use some out of my stash. So just pull out some of your large flowers if you want to and use on here. But I'm going to use probably that one right there. And then I think I'm going to put this butterfly up here, I think. He may be too big. I don't know. Let's see. Butterfly up there. I'm thinking the butterfly needs to go right there and the flower right there. And then I have a cream colored one. And I'm thinking that's going to be way too big. Let's see if I got any smaller ones in here. Okay, we'll just use some of the small ones that come with the kit. So we'll use that one and that one. And then probably this one right there in a little cluster. Well, that's cute. I like that. Now, if this is not your idea of decorating, then just decorate yours up any way that you want. This is just ideas that I'm giving you. Some people may not like this many flowers on the front. If you don't, then don't put them on there. Okay, which one? That one or that one? The mauve or the white? I'm thinking the white because there's lots of mauve going on here on the front. And I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac to put these on because it grabs really quick. I'm going to put that one right there. It's a butterfly like that, so it actually looks like the butterfly is made from that string that you put on there. And then let's put these little guys down here. Okay, and then last we have this little ephemera piece right here. And everybody won't have the same ephemera pieces in your kit, or may not have the same ones in your kit. Most of you may, but the ephemera kits are a little bit different. Each one of them is a little bit different. So you may have the same things I've got, and then again you may have something a little bit different. But you'll still have some good items that you can use. Don't worry about that. There we go. Got that right there. So that is the front of the album. Got that little tuck pocket right there with things in it, and then your flowers on there. I think that's cute, cute, cute. All right, and now we will decorate the pages and make some pockets for the inside, and then we'll be ready to put the pages in, and this little album will be finished.